Since making my last video about the reasons people should get married, I've seen a lot of videos with comments of people saying that you shouldn't get married just for sex and that there should be love and there should be all this other kind of stuff that goes with it. And I got to be honest with y'all. This whole idea of love and all that fairy tale stuff is a new concept in the aspect of getting love before marriage. That's a fairly modern concept. Like, that's something that came about in the last, I would say, I don't know, maybe 300-400 years at least, right? And it's just because when you think about specifically in the biblical days, there was no, oh, I love him, let me go and we gonna elope, or I love him, we gonna be girlfriend and boyfriend. It was literally like your parents told you who you were marrying, especially in the culture that the Bible came up around. Your parents told you who you were marrying, and that was just it, right? Like, you were a dude and somebody would go find you a wife, and from there y'all got to figure out the love part, right? It was arranged. So this idea of this fairy tale, sweep you off your feet, I'm gonna feel all butterfly and this, that, and the third is a new idea. The second piece is, let's say that idea is right, because I'm not saying that love before marriage is wrong. I think you should care about your partner. But if the love is real, the lust comes with it. You're not going to love nobody and want to marry them in a romantic way if you're not lusting after them. So that sex part of it is where the sin comes in. Because if not, if there was no lust aspect to the love that you have for your partner, y'all could just be friends. So this feeling of love, this feeling of belonging, this feeling of completeness that you seem to feel comes with, on the backside, a whole bunch of lust. And you have to be able to deny that and follow Christ until you're married. So yes, the whole purpose of marriage was, hey, a lot of y'all are going to be in love or think you're in love, but most of y'all are going to lust after each other and want to go to your natural physical desires. In order to do that and still honor God, here is the realm in which it has to happen. One, not only for the protection of the woman, right? Because at that point, there's a responsibility the man has, given the culture, there's a responsibility the man has to the woman. But then two, the results of sex, usually, depending on the human, comes out with a baby. And now you got to have protection for the child. Now you got to have some kind of structure for the child. And outside the covenant of marriage, we see how single parenthood has single-handedly taken and ruined a whole generation of people. So yeah, it might not be the most pleasant thing to hear, but ultimately, you're not even going to truly love that person until you experience the covenant with that person. Even when it comes to us in Christ, you don't love Christ until you become saved and you get in that covenant and you go through experiences where you rely on him and he's there, and you ask him for help and he's there, and then you feel the joy of having somebody comfort you and be there for you. You don't experience the love of Christ for real from your end to him until you are in covenant with Christ. So that aspect of you should love somebody prior to is a newer concept, because in marriage, you don't truly love that person until you are in that covenant with them. When you know, hey, they're not going anywhere. We're bonding. We're battling through things. We're building things together. We're getting closer and becoming one flesh. That's where the love comes in at. On the other side, think about what the grounds for divorce are by the Bible standpoint. It's strictly for infidelity. It's strictly for sexual immorality. It's not about you loving somebody else. It's because you had sex with somebody else. So sex gets you into marriage and sex gets you out of marriage. You get married so that you can have sex and not have to worry about being out of control and out of the will of God with your lust, because some people are just more lustful than others. And to get out of a marriage, somebody has to cheat. That's really the only way it works. Is it pretty? No. But is it the Bible? Yeah.